guys, welcome to my channel. My name is ReadingBear and I hope you are ready for some more stories. And today, we'll take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady content. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comment. And now, let's dive right into the stories.
The first story is titled Karen Can't Understand That Just BC We Were Moving Furniture, Doesn't Mean We Work There. A little background: I work in film as a set dresser, which among many other tasks includes being a glorified mover. My fellow set dressers and I were finishing up our final days on a gig, this past week. On Friday we had a full 16-feet truckload of furniture that we didn't use in the movie, that we were attempting to donate to a thrift store. The staff at the thrift store only okayed a few furniture items for us to donate, which were throughout the truck, which forced us to have to unload a bunch of our stuff to get to a few items that they would take and then reload the other furniture back on. The staff left us to do our thing as they were busy. We were already a bit confused about our own situation with the store. It was really hot outside and we were all tired and sweating from a week of furniture moving. Cue Karen. This woman pulls her car up to where we are and gets out with a couple boxes of items. She sees us and flippantly asks, "Where should I leave these?" We tell her, "Sorry, we don't work here, we aren't sure." She starts to get a little huffy and instead of looking for a staff member she just spots one of our dining tables and says with an irritated sigh, "I guess I'll just leave these here." And plops the boxes on our stuff. My coworker responds with, "Actually, sorry, that table isn't staying, it's going back on our truck. You can't leave it there." Now she is visibly annoyed and with a raised and very entitled tone asks us again, "Well then, where should I leave this stuff?" To which we again reply, "We don't know. We don't work here, you have to ask someone who works here." At this point she is pretty irritated and huffs over to where I am standing, angrily throws the stuff on the ground next to me, stomps back to her car and promptly drives away. It felt like she pegged us as working-class people and therefore we must be able to give her the answers she wanted and couldn't understand why we didn't have them. Some people are so entitled it shocks me. The next story is titled A Crazy Woman Demanded to Get Me Fired Because I Refused to Sell Her Skinny Jeans. Background info. My name is Sean. This story happened at Walmart in January of this year. I used to work at Walmart in September, but I quit to go work at my sister's donut shop. At Walmart I worked at the register. I would see this woman from time to time. I actually ended up being good friends with her. She was chill to me and most people all the time and she was just really cool in general. We would hang out after my shift sometimes and I loved being around her. Alright, now to the main story. In January I was at Walmart looking for a Lego set I've been trying to get for a little less than a year. When suddenly, for the sake of this story we'll call her Karen. Karen walks up to me. "Hey Sean, it's been a week or two since we last talked." She would randomly pop up out of nowhere and scare me like that. This was one of those times. "Oh hey, it has." She quickly interrupted me, which was weird since she would usually let me speak first, but I thought nothing of it since we've known each other for so long. "So I found these amazing skinny jeans that I need so badly. But they don't have it in my size, can you go check the back for me?" She was talking in one of those snobby Karen voices you would hear in an MK video. "Oh sorry Karen, but I quit my job last month." With that annoying Karen voice she said. "Ha ha ha, you've always been so funny Sean. But for real though, can you check the back and see if you guys have this in a size 18? Karen seemed really off today and this confused me because she has always been really happy. "Oh, I'm not joking. I really did quit last month after Black Friday. I can't really handle that many people." I don't know if something just clicked in her head, but she just went off on me for no reason at all. "Alright Sean, enough jokes. If you don't get these jeans in my size I will get the manager and have you fired and banned from all Walmarts." She was really causing a scene and I could even see somebody recording from afar. Karen has never yelled at anybody that I've seen, so this was really confusing and actually kinda scary for me. "Whoa Karen, calm down, I really don't work here anymore. Why else would I not be in uniform?" Which she responding with, "Well maybe it's because you're just trying to pull a prank on other people." Well guess what Sean? It is not funny, and I'm gonna get the manager. At this point I'm just standing in the toy aisle, completely confused, and embarrassed with all the people staring at me. A few moments later my old manager came with Karen. Let's call him Bob. Now Bob was the best manager ever. We would hang out any chance we got, but after I quit we kinda slowed down. We're still in touch though. Here he is. Hey Sean. Bob is here to fire you. Bob came up to me and said, "Hey Sean, it's been a while, you doing good?" "Yeah, I broke my arm a while back, but other than that I'm fine." Karen looked shook and so confused, which kinda made to cackle a bit. Bob told Karen, "Hey lady, Sean actually quit last month, so he doesn't work here anymore." Of course Karen's hate being denied, so she said, "Even the manager is in on the prank? I am out of here." Karen stormed out, and after that I never heard from her again. This whole situation was so weird and out of character for Karen, so I am still kinda confused on why she flipped out on me. If she sees this post, chances are she is gonna sue me for harassment. Also, I'm pretty sure she stole the skinny jeans that weren't even her size. Nor were they the proper size for skinny jeans. The next story is entitled Family Trespasses in My Pasture. So this happened a few years back and I happened to remember this event, so I thought I'd share it with all you beautiful folks out there. Sorry for any poor formatting as I'm stuck on mobile for a while, and I also apologize for the length of the story. So first let me give some background to help you understand a few things. So I run a cattle operation that I took over from my now deceased father. I have a little over 100 acres, give or take, and my land and cattle are guarded by 12 half Marima and half Sarplananak guard dogs. This particular breed is big. The head of my biggest male and female is level with my middle rib, and I'm 6 feet 2, so you can imagine just how big they all are. All my dogs are trained to patrol the limits of my pasture, and help clean the calves right after they're born. They also are trained to guide any other people who come into the property directly to me, and they can be very protective of me, their turf, and the cattle. I've seen these dogs literally tear apart coyotes who got too close to the herd, but otherwise they are gentle giants. Now that I've given all the background you'll need, let's get on to the story. So I was patrolling the fence with one of my females, Freya, who is a total kiss ass, to make sure the fence wasn't knocked over by deer when I heard Freya huff and bark. I looked over to where she was, pointing, and I saw my two alphas, Fenrir, male, and Rasta, whose name means brawler in Old Icelandic Norwegian and is female, were escorting a whole family towards me. There was a husband, wife, boy, and a girl who were wearing swimwear. Once they were near me, I called the dogs over to me. The father immediately began loudly complaining that the dogs had tried to attack him and his family. I merely raised an eyebrow and said, "Sir, if that was the case you wouldn't be standing here right now." And he starts asking to the park ranger or the manager of this nature reserve, which got me confused. I then said, "This isn't a nature reserve, this is a private ranch. Why would there be a nature reserve in the middle of a bunch of corn and soybean fields, i.e. farming country?" And then the mother piped up, "Well, it looked like it might be a nature reserve, so we thought it was." I could only shake my head in disbelief at what I was hearing. The mother then went on to explain that they'd come here to look for a place to swim since the local lakeside beach was too full, and they found my creek and thought it'd be a good place to swim. And not long after, my dogs found them and brought them to me. I apologized for yelling and getting upset, but told them that they needed to leave. But the dad insisted that they were gonna swim, that I can't make them leave, how it's a free country, and he can go and do as he pleases since he's a sovereign citizen. I look at him and ask, "Did that hurt?" And he asked, "Did what just hurt?" And I said, "When all that stupid fell out your throat. Because you're not a sovereign citizen, that stopped being a thing when Abe Lincoln died, and you aren't allowed to trespass on private land. Now then, I'm going to tell you again, you need to go back to your vehicle and leave right now." At this point the dad starts to get red in the face, starts yelling that I'm not as smart as I think I am and how I'm not gonna make a fool out of him in front of his family, which he was doing all on his own, and I said as much. While this guy is ranting and raving, my dogs start to growl while putting themselves in front of me as they know to do. And I start getting worried that this guy will set them off, and I don't want that for his sake more than anything else since, as I mentioned, these dogs have killed coyotes, so I don't want to see what they can do to a human. I try to calm the dogs down, but the dad decides he's gonna act on his anger and insecurities by making a grab for me, and my heart stops for a moment as Fenrir tackles the guy and grabs him by the throat, and Singh holds him there growling. I yell at the dad to not move while his family started to panic. I managed to quiet them down and I yelled at Fenrir, "Fenrir, no. Leave it. Come." And fortunately he listens and comes back. I then chewed out the dad once again for trespassing, picking a fight, provoking my dogs and almost getting himself killed, all for the sake proving how much of a man he is. I help him up, brush him off, and check to make sure he wasn't bitten, and I try to calm the woman and kids down. I tell them one last time they need to leave and shoo the dogs away and guide the family back to their car. They got back to their car that had been parked on the side of a gravel, and I once again apologized for what had happened. The dad, who had calmed down, apologized as well before starting his car and driving off. I never had anything come of that scenario, and while it still pisses me off how stupid and entitled that family was, the dad most of all, and how that stupidity and entitlement almost got them killed, I'm just glad that everyone was okay and hopefully learned a lesson. I guess it just goes to show how no matter what, the craziest things can happen to anyone. The next story is titled Karen Wants Me to Change the Bank's Email Address and Loses It When I Tell Her I Work for a Clothing Store. I'm a 26F with 6 years of experience in the customer support, service department, aka call center. Over the years I changed a few firms, due to personal reasons. I have nerves of steel and can listen to a person yelling at me and not blink. During the years I have met a lot of crazies, and here are a few stories about them. Back then, I was 25 and worked for a well-known clothing line in the call center for their online shop. My office was the sister office of the brand. So, not your average call center. I only have supervisors and senior agents. My manager would be the owner of the brand himself. This is important for later. We were located in my home country. The brand is from Italy. So neighboring country. I worked for the German language branch. We were instructed to say that we are in Italy. Many Germans refuse to speak with anybody who isn't from Germany. Not everyone is like that, but most sadly are, and I apologize if I have offended anyone. And telling them that we are in Italy saved us 70% of the time. A necessary white lie, as there are call centers all around Europe which employ only the best. Yet that doesn't matter if we are not born and raised in the country of the language we are working in. One day this Karen called and asked why the confirmation of the purchase came from an, to her unknown, email address and not the regular one. Explanation we got from the bank. The online bank changed the email address. And for all other info to contact their customer service. This usually shuts people up. But boy does it not her. Karen. What? Why did they change it? Me. I don't know, ma'am, I don't. Karen. Is this a scam? I want my money back. Or I'm going to call the police. Me. Ma'am, for that you will have to call the customer service of the bank. Karen. I have. Me stupidly. What have they said? Karen. Are you stupid? Change the email address and give me my money back. Now I realize what is happening and try to explain to her that I'm not the bank. Me. Ma'am, you have called the clothing brand online shop. Karen. Yeah, so? Me. You need to contact the bank. I am not the bank. I work for clothing brand, not the bank. Please contact them. The Karen, being a Karen, didn't take the explanation well and interpreted it like so. You aren't working for the bank? Scam. Thief. I will call the police. The news. My lawyer. How dare you do this to me? I am a long-time Golden member. Now our membership cards and levels have special names, so Gold doesn't mean anything to us, nor does the bank have a membership card. Karen. You probably aren't even in Germany. How dare you, Balkan? In this context it's an insult, and probably at least half of the Europeans here will understand it. Trash, do this to me? Me. I am in Italy, where this brand is from. Now, please calm down and call the online bank. We can not help you. Karen. No, you scamming little idiot. Give me your manager. I almost started laughing. Me. Of course, I will transfer you right now. And with that I hung up. My supervisor asked me what happened, and gave me a pat on the shoulder after hearing my crazy tale, saying that I should have hung up sooner. She then took the infos about that Karen and put her on the banned callers list, as we do not let people talk like that to us. The next story is titled Karen Wants Me to Fix Her TV Over the Phone. Little backstory. I'm a 26F with 6 years of experience in the customer support, service department, aka call center. Over the years I changed a few firms, due to personal reasons. I have nerves of steel and can listen to a person yelling at me and not blink. During the years I have met a lot of crazies, and here are a few stories about them. I was around 22Y when I worked for a phone company's call center, essentially being the person you get when you dial our number and scream at. So this is something that actually happens a lot. A person calls, let's call her Karen just for kicks, and needs someone to fix her TV. Now we have a system when you call which says, press 1 if you need this, and some entitled people don't care about that and just wait for an agent to yell it and to be transferred to the IT department, instead of just pressing 4 and getting the IT department directly. Now, this person in particular didn't take that. I'm going to be paraphrasing a lot, as this happened 4 years ago. The conversation went like so. Karen. Finally somebody. I tried to say the usual hello and welcome, but she cut me off with, my TV is not working, come fix it. I sigh internally and begin with, what is the exact problem? Is it not turning on? Did it freeze? Channels not changing? Tone and text not being in sync? What exactly? Karen says, it just doesn't work. Fix it. Ma'am, I being, and pray silently, for I know that the next sentence is going to piss her off, but I had to say it. Have you tried turning the TV or the router on and off? Karen replies, now why would I do that? I'm not a handyman, just come and fix it. Seeing that I'll get nothing out of her, I just write a short notice and start the transfer call process. Ma'am, I will transfer you to the IT department, they will be able to assist you. Now this is where she goes into full Karen mode. No, I want you to fix it. Do it now. Ma'am, I am not an IT agent, nor can I just come to your home and fix your TV. She cuts me off with what I still don't understand. What? Did I say you can come to my home? No. Fix my TV now. So you want me to fix your TV while I'm on the phone with you? K. Yes. Now on with it. Me. Ma'am, that is not possible. I cannot fix your TV over the phone, and most definitely cannot do anything when I don't even know what exactly is the problem with it in the first place. Here comes the usual how dare you. I demand to speak with your supervisor. I just roll my eyes, sigh and tell her just a moment, then dial my supervisor and tell him that a woman demands that I fix her TV over the phone. I could literally hear my supervisor shake his head and say, just send her through. Me. Thank you for waiting, my supervisor will take you right now. Later he told me that the woman just didn't know where her remote was, and when she found it and pressed on, the TV turned on. I don't even want to know what was going through her head at that moment, because I would probably have to have a concussion or be drunk to understand that. The next story is titled, I walked into a store that sells a lot of home goods and a lady thought I worked there, was upset when I told her I didn't. I was maybe 14 at the time and I was looking at blankets and other bedding. The shoppers in that retail store are fairly annoying in my area. Typically let their demon children run around freely and terrorize the other customers. This woman, around 30 and a mama bear type woman, had 2 demon children, 6 to 9-ish, running around and a toddler screaming on her hip. She marches over to me and asks if I work there. I told her I did not and I was in fact a minor, but she didn't believe me. I'm tall, so IDK, maybe that's it. She then said, well, since you don't want to help, I'll take my business elsewhere. I don't know why your manager even pays you. She angrily storms to the front desk and cuts several people in line, I guess to tell on me. I go back to my shopping, though carefully watching this lady at the front. I'm assuming she was kicked out cause she marched out the door cussing and screaming. I think about that day a lot. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear